Good old Friedberg and Seltzer. You know, those guys are actually getting better. Too bad don't mean a goddamn thing.
How are they getting better? They're making their film shorter?
This ain't no disaster movie. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's not
you know
that
what?
bad.
There's a few chuckles, but right now, honestly, I want to bang my head up against the wall. And I don't know why.
What solidifies how bad this movie is, though, more than saying it's not as good as the films it's parodying. It's not anywhere near as good as Twilight and New Moon, which are shit.
Yeah, which you know what? That's the funny thing about this movie is that I think I got more laughs out of those original films than I did this one.
We're talking about Aaron Friedberg and Jason Seltzer, or is it the other way around? Like, who gives a fuck, really?
Yeah, who cares? Nobody.
Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, let me tell you something. Yeah, these guys are getting a little bit better, but that's like saying, you know, I had a good bowel movement instead of diarrhea. It's still shit at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, these motherfuckers here, I will pay $500 to the spill member that goes out there and videotapes themselves slapping the shit out these two guys. I'm sick of them. These motherfuckers, how are they getting money, man?
Take a shit on their head.
Yeah.
I'm just this close to saying somebody should kill these motherfuckers because that's the only way they will stop.
You can't say that.
But I can't. I will not wish that upon them. I mean,
these are guys who aren't even trying, and that's what's so insulting and angering about them is that they don't give a shit.
Oh, they're
don't. They're in this for the same audience that goes see Twilight. These people, I'm sorry if you're out there and you like Twilight, but you just don't know any better, okay? And the audience we were with, who were watching this movie and laughing at it, they didn't know any better.
No, they didn't.
This is not funny. There's not a joke in this entire movie that a 13-year-old girl couldn't have come up with themselves while watching Twilight.
It's goddamn Twilight. Yeah. I mean, the movies write the jokes for you.
Yeah, you don't need them to tell you the obvious jokes.
No, they don't need them to tell you the obvious jokes. You don't need some. I mean, really, there's material here that could actually make a great parody.
And that's
but guess who fucks it up?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers here, man. These motherfuckers here.
If you're dying to see this stuff satirized, go get the riff tracks for the movies. They're really funny.
No,
they know exactly how to tear these films apart. I bet you anything they came up with this script in a weekend. If that.
I wrote this shit. I wrote this shit when I was 13 years old. I made comic strips with this kind of humor. I'm not kidding you.
Thank God you didn't go nowhere with that.
And nobody gave me a budget for it.
The only thing that they got right is that they managed to find people that looked like the exact same cast from those Twilight films.
That's one of the good things about this film is that they actually went out and got actors who resembled the original actors from the Twilight series. I'm looking at the names right here. It's a girl named Marcelle Barrett who played the Kristen Stewart type character.
Hot, much hotter than Kristen.
Yeah, and the guy that played Edward is a guy named Matt Lanter who, you know, usually when I picture guys with abs, I don't think they're very funny, but this guy actually made me laugh a little bit in this movie.
I thought he was I hate to say anything is, how can you identify the weak point in this film? But if one of the actors, it was probably him for me. It's like, okay, this guy knows he's in a movie by these guys, and he didn't even seem like he was trying. Everybody else was at least like, maybe this will get me a job somewhere else.
Well, there's things that they do. Like I said, the girl played Kristen Stewart. You know, she got the whole hair flicking thing down and looking all angsty and everything. And then the guy who was playing Edward, he does this thing. And these jokes, really, they last for about 5 minutes at the beginning. You're like, oh, that girl's doing a good Kristen Stewart. That's funny until it's like they keep doing it and it gets old. And the guy who played Edward would do that thing where he just stares and look like he's about on the verge of crying because he doesn't know how to like approach Bella, the Bella character.
And you know what? I think they could have easily went to a Twilight convention where they have fans dressing up, and they could have picked the entire cast again. And those unknowns probably would have done the same like decent job that this movie did with the actors that it had.
Man, look, what can we tell you about these kind of movies? It's the same fucking complaint we have in every movie. They take every popular trend out there, whether it be something like Facebook or Twitter or whoever the latest performer is, pop performer like Lady Gaga or whatever the popular movie is at the moment. In this movie, they have an Alice in Wonderland reference.
Makes no sense.
They just put it there. Why? Because Alice in Wonderland came out this year, and it was a popular movie.
The one thing I'll say for this movie, I think that made it better than Disaster Movie, which isn't to say much, is that there wasn't as much of that in this as there was in Disaster Movie, which seemed to be made of nothing but pop references and bad ones. In this one, you're like, okay, there was maybe 10 or 15 of those, like real direct, and now here's a reference to the Real Housewives of whatever, or, you know, things like this. We're like, what does that have to do with anything? Why did you just said that so your audience can go, oh, I know what that
There's
is.
actually a scene in here where they say, hey, look over there. And somebody looks and they're like, no, not over there where they have the cast of Jersey Shore. Yeah. There's no clever lead into that.
Who are they? Oh. Those are the Sullens. They're really, really close.
And who's that?
Snooki, JWoww, DJ Polly D.
No, not the douchebags from Jersey Shore. Him. The really pale dude with big hair and constipated look.
Edward Sullen. He's a complete hottie. But evidently, no one here is worthy.
I know what Jersey Shore is. That made me laugh.
And the thing is, that's all these movies have always been. It's like, all right, what's really popular? Give me a list of 10 things that people are fucking watching or reading right now, and let's just throw them in the movie just in the background so we can have a character go, oh, look over there. I mean, all these movies always seem like just one big fucking costume party.
You can do referential humor. You can do pop culture humor. I mean, look at Scott Pilgrim, which was great at doing that, but everything fit into the goddamn storyline. It made sense in the context of the film. It was just the whole non sequitur, and there it is. There, you saw a reference to something else you fucking idiots actually like.
When they didn't have something to reference, somebody was getting hit in the crotch or bumped on the head.
Or fucking getting a door slammed in their face. Again, when will that fucking go away?
Yeah.
It does not work anymore. No one laughs at that shit.
God damn, put these two motherfuckers in a room of preschool kids and let them have a camera, because their fucking writing is about the same level as that shit.
It is. You know what? The only thing that really kind of made me laugh out loud in this whole fucking movie was, surprise, surprise, a fart joke. I mean, and it honestly got me really laughing, because I was like, fucking A, that's what this movie needs now, because everything else you're doing is so fucking just amateurish, and obviously you're just phoning it in.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
mean,
I can count
it's
it. Yeah.
sad. It
How
really
bad
is.
is it when a fart joke is like the highest quality of humor that you have in the film? This movie wasn't even good enough to have puns in it.
They can only get that in the fucking movie poster, the title of the fucking film.
Exactly.
It should have been retitled fucking Vampires Suck Ass, like a lot of ads.
I was prepared to drive away from this movie tonight, stop by Walmart, buy a pistol, and pop both these motherfuckers in their brains. But
there you go, talking about killing
But
again.
I want these motherfuckers to never make a movie again. If it takes death, then so be it. Well, I tell you what saved these two from death by my hands. It was I can count. And we always say this all the time. I counted the number of times I laughed in this movie. No, I can count the number of times I laughed in this movie. Three times.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, and I can tell you what they were.
One real laugh and 2 chuckles.
Yeah. Well, that was 3. No, that was 3 real laughs to me. And see, this is how they get me. They are insidious, these men here. I'm telling you, Friedberg and Seltzer are evil, because I hate these movies. I hate them. But there will always be one laugh that will stick with me that keeps making me laugh. And not for just one day. I laugh for like several days from that one or two stupid
that one little
things.
scene. And that's the thing. They're in the theater fucking hearing you laugh, writing that shit down, thinking, all right, you know what? That door getting slammed in that dude's face again, that shit is still working.
Well, I'll tell you what it was in this movie. It was this. And it's stupid shit. It was, one, the fart joke. And the reason why I laughed at that is because it was something that I always thought would happen in the original Twilight movies. 2, it was a squirrel. It was a puppet squirrel in this. And in the last movie, it was puppet chipmunks. So maybe these guys should make puppet rodent movies.
Which is, you know what, don't give them any ideas, because you know what, they'll find a way to fuck that up too.
And it was one more. It was a wheelchair joke. And I hate to laugh at the handicap, but there was a wheelchair joke in
the
this.
handicap. It was like one of those, like, that was so ridiculous that you couldn't help but just throw your hands up.
If I was laughing at anything they did, I was laughing at the handicap. These two mentally handicapped sons of bitches right here, after what, 4 movies that I've seen from these bastards right here?
I think it's probably more
what the fuck
than
can I tell you? Man, fuck them,
they're
man.
They're the Gordon Gekko of Hollywood. They're just like, greed is good. What else do you need? You don't need quality. People are sheep. You can put anything on it as long as they recognize it, they'll embrace it. And that's what's going on here. It's just that. You're just like, I recognize these things. Ha 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 ha.
Now, I'm doing a lot of ranting here about Friedberg and Seltzer, but let me take a serious moment to explain why, outside of the obvious, I'm really bothered by these films. Yes, we all know a lot of movies put aside the more artistic aspects of filmmaking to solely make a profit. We're not naive. But the films that these two directors make are so blatant at being nothing more than a juvenile finger pointing at an image or mention of a popular trend that, to me, they seem exploitive of a young culture raised to have an ever-decreasing attention span thanks to the internet and channel surfing. And this may sound a little crazy, but I think it shows a slight de-evolution in what people will accept as entertainment. By that same token, I can compliment this movie for having a little more focus and sticking to the target of its spoofing more than Friedberg and Seltzer's previous efforts. But then again, that's kind of a backhanded compliment because what is spoofing is Twilight, and that's not that difficult. I would not insult the craft of being a director, filmmaking, anything else by applying it to anything that these fools do at all.
I don't even blame them anymore. I'm like tired. I'm too tired to blame them still. I blame the distributors because you know how many movies come out every week that are fucking shit that go straight to DVD? This is worse than most of those movies.
Oh,
and
easily.
yet it keeps getting theatrical releases. Why? Because the distributors embracing these terrible things about it. They're the ones promoting the shit. Blame those guys. Friedberg and Seltzer, whatever, man. Yeah, they're a bunch of useless, talentless whores, but you know what? You can only kick them so much for. You've got to find someone else new.
Either they are the most retarded filmmakers out there, or they are geniuses who don't give a shit.
Well, they're not retarded because they're making money.
That's what I'm saying. These guys, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think they're stupid. I pray to God. I pray to God before somebody hurts these two sons of bitches. That they surprise us one day. That they make all this money and they come out and they laugh about it and they're like, hey guys, we were just saving up cash to make our opus right here, and they make one of the best films ever made.
I'll sweep the Oscars, and everyone's going,
Jeez.
What the fuck?
Fuck them, man. Fuck them, and fuck them, anybody that makes a movie like them. Fuck them, fuck you, fuck this movie, and fuck anybody that laughs at this shit. Fuck them to the ground,
Hey,
man.
Corey, you laughed at those 4 scenes, though.
3 scenes.
Come on. Oh,
I'm mad at myself for doing that, man. They make me mad for even laughing at anything I've ever done.
It happens.
You know what? You've convinced me. It's at the worst a high fuck you.
Yeah. It's a very complimentary fuck you.
I honestly don't even want to think about the next movie that is going to happen. This movie is definitely a huge, and I wish the Iron Sheik was here because he'd say it better than I would. Fuck you. Yeah. I almost wish we wouldn't post up this goddamn review because it's going to only lend more attention to those fucking assholes.
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad press.
You want them to just disappear, and the only way to do that is for everyone not to fucking acknowledge them. But there's still that fucking audience out there. We saw them tonight. They were sitting there laughing it up, fucking banging their feet down on the ground. And I was like, what the? Who are these
and
people?
Then they brought
Where did
them
they
back
come
to
from?
the asylum.
Yes, and then they all got back on the small little yellow bus and went back to school.
I don't understand what's going on with these fucking kids, man, who love this shit, because they're the ones who are really making it happen.
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones who like are paying the money for these kind of. Look, I'm not 13 anymore. Maybe this is really very appropriate for a 13-year-old. Like I said, I wrote this kind of shit when I was 13, and I thought I was the funniest person in the world writing this. I thought I was so clever. What kind angle can I take on this to justify the existence of these films?
You can't. Why would you look for one?
Because they keep making them. That's why. I'm wondering why.
It makes you wonder, how come we're not fucking making films if these two assholes can fucking do it? What's wrong with us?
Because we have more self-respect.
And saying that, though, I'm also kind of embarrassed about some of the talent that this movie really
it's so sad.
got. I know. It's like Dave Foley. I mean, Kids in the Hall.
I mean, come on, man.
I mean, damn,
you were like
Dave.
one of my heroes, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, and News Radio.
Yeah,
you know?
him. I mean, they're
Diedrich Bader, man, who they got who was from the Drew Carey show.
Office Space.
Oh,
Yeah, Office
shit.
Space. I mean, shit. Hey, what was he doing anyway? I guess, right?
Yeah. Supporting bullshit like this is what he's
Kim,
doing.
what's his name?
Oh, Kim Jeong.
Yeah, who's big right now. I mean, he's
that's
big.
it. Yeah, that
he's
guy.
getting roles left and right all over the place. He's a big hit on Community. He was in The Hangover. He's been in lots of stuff. And you got to say yes to this too? Come on, man. You had to know.
How big
what
is that
this
fucking
was.
check, dude? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, really, I need to see that fucking check to make me go.
I would more
okay,
understand.
I get it.
I would more understand saying yes to Uwe Boll than to these guys, really, because at least with him, his films are so bad, they're laughably bad. There's nothing worth laughing at here.
I rarely say I hate somebody, much less somebody I've never met. But through the sheer just shittiness of these people's work and what they have subjected me to 4 times over, they are my enemies. I hate them with a passion. If I ever meet them, I will wrap my fucking hands around their neck and I will strangle them as hard as I can until somebody pulls me off. Pray to God I never run across these people because spill would end, because I will be in goddamn prison when it was done. That's how strongly I feel about these two sons of bitches. Truly. I'm putting the bounty out. I'm making a call right now. $500 for the person that slaps the fuck out of these guys. $1,000 if you send me the videotape. And I mean that.
Let me go find my Django Fett outfit, and I can take care of that for you.
Look next week on Spill for Corey's interview with these guys. So you guys are great.
Yeah. Hey Corey, aren't we advertising that movie this week all over our Spill page? Is that gonna be all over our site?
Bought out the front page.
Yeah, I know. It's all over the front page.
I'm out there with a sandwich board on, dressed up like that black vampire from the movie.